Hard Travelin, Fall 1980, Episode 4. It's getting dark. Little drops of water are beginning to attack from above. I've been here 2 hours with my thumb out and I haven't had a nibble. Screw it. The rain is getting more determined and I'm tired. I head for a set of lights about a mile away. Must be a truck stop. I could use some coffee and a piece of pie. The rain gets harder and I'm getting wetter, and the lights are still a long ways away. Oh, hell. Rule number 1 of hitchhiking, don't get wet. It's too hard to dry out. Running along the dark Illinois freeway with my pack bumping up and down, the huge trucks roaring past, splashing me, wetter and wetter, the drops plastering my hair and rolling down into my eyes. Damnation. By the time I reach the lights, I'm soused. It's just a couple of gas stations. Thunderation. No pie in sight. Blast. Boy, am I pissed. It's pitch black, pouring, and I'm tired. Well, when in doubt, head for an overpass. See, underneath an overpass, the walls slant up from the road that goes underneath, and then just at the top, right underneath the roadbed of the road above, there's usually a flat shelf. This is Albert's gift to hitchhikers, a perfect bivouac. I peel off my wet coat and pants and spread them out to dry. My sleeping bag is damp but not wet. Albert be praised. I lie there with the trucks rolling by 4 feet above my head and dream of pie. Morning drizzle. Yuck. The pants are almost dry, just sort of clammy. The coat is dry. Several bewildered motorists cruise by as I stumble down the sloped cement walls of the underpass. Good morning, fine citizens of Bloomington. They look amazed, surprised, shocked, or suspicious. Apparently they don't sleep under overpasses in Bloomington. Another early morning traveling salesman gives me a ride almost immediately. He has a CB that crackles and sputters unintelligibly. As we approach his exit, it's beginning to sprinkle a little bit, and he pulls out the transmitter. Breaker 19, breaker 19, crackle, sputter. Yeah, crackle. Go ahead, breaker 19, sputter pop. Yeah, I got a young feller here, dropping him off at the Monmouth exit. It's starting to rain, and he don't want to get wet. Why doesn't somebody stop and give him a ride? Crackle pop. Yeah, okay, breaker, I got a copy on that. Okay, 10-4, I'll get him. Okay, over. Crackle, crackle. Okay, thanks a lot, breaker out. He puts away the receiver and says, okay, this is where I get off. I say, thanks a lot for the ride and the call. He says, no problem. Good luck. 10 minutes pass in the light rain with my thumb out, when then a big silver-gray Lincoln with plush red upholstery pulls up. The door opens and the driver says, howdy, got your call, how are you? He's a transient iron worker. Gets jobs all over the country working on power plants, especially nuclear plants. And if the car is any indication, he's doing okay. He's, maybe 35, has long eyelashes and big blue eyes, almost a pretty face, and arms the size of my legs. You get the feeling that if you hassle him about his eyelashes, he'll break you in half. Nice guy, pretty quiet. We look at the early morning cornfields, and then he drops me off in Champaign-Urbana. I check my pack into yet another dime locker at another University Student Union building, comb the hair, brush the teeth, wash the face, the usual Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde routine, and then head out in search of my appointment with very important man number 2, composer Herbert Brunn. The sky is clearing. People are roaming the campus in shorts and sandals. Once again, I admire the disproportionately high number of beautiful women and head for the music building. I slip into a graduate seminar that is billed as experimental music. We discuss such pressing issues as being stuck and being the spokesman for the stuck, and toss around such phrases as, each day I wrestle with my tendency towards returning to being an object, and the awakening of the manifestation of social unconsciousness, and the de-alienation of wants and actions. Now, who says college is an ivory tower? All in all, we had a rip-roaring good time, out impressing each other with the length and relative obscurity of our carefully selected words. And after the fun, I talked with very important man number 2. The appointment is successful, but not thrilling. Again, much talk about ostinato, rubato, legato, tenuto, orchestration, notation, and castration. Well, back out on the road on the edge of Champaign-Urbana. There are rings and bags around my eyes like you wouldn't believe. I look like I got in a fight with a magic marker. I spent last night in some bushes on campus in a howling thunderstorm that managed to soak me, my pack, and my sleeping bag quite thoroughly, and I got absolutely zero sleep as I lay awake and battled the storm, trying to stay as dry as possible with various ingenious hangings of my rain fly, but alas, to no avail. It's hard to sleep when you are acutely conscious of a mass of sodden feather down collapsing all around you, and you suspect that every kamikaze raindrop is a message from an angry deity, and you lie there in forlorn misery, wondering what you did to deserve such treatment, and wishing Mommy was there to make it all better. I spent the morning drying out at a laundromat and eating pancakes at a local joint, and now here I stand ready to rock and roll. Right now, the sky looks like it's waiting to see which way I'm heading so it can send its rain clouds to dump on me at some lonely on-ramp. Never underestimate the malevolence of a Midwest thundercloud when it rains. Here, man, it rains. None of this friendly drizzle stuff. All right, a pickup truck pulls up. Goodbye, Champaign. It's an old guy, wrinkles all over his face. He smiles as I get in, and the wrinkles spread from his eyes to his ears. Where are you heading, Indy? Okay, I'll get you to Crawfordsville. Great. You live in Indy? Oh, no, just passing through on my way to Ann Arbor. Oh, way up north. Cold up there. Yep. You just traveling? Oh, yeah, visiting a bunch of schools, really. Music schools. Oh, yeah. When I was your age, back in 37, I took a long trip all around the country. Nothing doing in Champaign, so I just said so long and took off, you know. Hell, I hit every state in the Union except Alaska and Hawaii, and they wasn't even states then. Yep, good times. I'd hitchhike for a while, and when I got hungry, I'd knock on a door and ask if I could split some wood or milk a cow, you know. And there was lots of guys doing that, so it was sort of accepted, you know, just rambling around. And I hit every state. I made sure of that because I wanted to be able to say later on, you know, that I'd been in every state. Yep, and people would pick up hitchhikers more then than now. Now it's different. You keep hearing stories about people getting robbed or murdered. It scares people off. Yeah, about 20 years ago now, I guess, I picked up 2 girls right here in Champaign. Thought I knew 'em, you know, and then we get maybe 5 miles out of town and the girl sitting next to me pulls out a gun, a big old pistol, and says, "We're going to Indy." And I said, "I don't know if I have enough gas." But she just said, "Shut up and drive." So I shut up and drove all the way to Indy, and we got to a gas station outside Indy, and I said, "Another mile and I'll be out of gas." So they said, "Okay, pull over." And they got out and ran down a side road. So I called the cops from the gas station, and they caught 'em too about a half an hour later. and it's just lucky I had enough cash on me to buy enough gas to get back to Champaign." "Huh, yeah, sounds like you were lucky." "Yep, so I kind of look carefully at people before I pick 'em up, you know. If I can just see their face, I can tell if they're all right. And you got a pack there, so I figure as to how you're going somewhere, not just out on a robbing spree. Anyhow, I got a lot of dues to pay for those 2 years I spent on the road, so I still stop for young folks. I just hope and pray my wife don't find out. She don't like hitchhikers." "Well, that's great. I'm glad you still stop." We roll across Illinois, and the rain cloud follows us. He turns on the radio station WP something. Aha, east of the Mississippi. The station names have changed from K's to W's. Same old songs, though. Same old AM crap. Mind massage, gap fillers. Crawfordsville, Indiana. He pulls over and I get out. "Thanks a lot." "So long. Good luck." Another face entrusted to memory. It's a semi-lonely entrance ramp. Not that bad. A car goes by with 2 young high school kids in it, a guy and his girl. She's all snuggled up against him, and he's got a beautiful little smile on his face that he'd probably be ashamed of if he was conscious of it. As they cruise by, I blow them a kiss. The girl giggles. The guy sits up straight, looks guilty. The girl is very pretty and waves a shy smile. It's a car that is totally filled with 2 people and puppy love. There's no room for a stranger, and I'm glad they didn't stop. I wouldn't either. An old beat-up 65 Chevy pulls over. Young guy going to Indy to look at a construction job. I try to pry a few words out of him, but he doesn't talk much. Okay, fine. I just sit back and think, rolling through the endless fields of withered golden corn stalks. He lets me out at the worst possible spot on God's green earth for a hitchhiker to stand. A busy urban on-ramp with no shoulder, cars continuously whizzing by in a hurry, no chance in hell of anyone being crazy enough to stop for a hitchhiker. Suddenly, a car stops. It's a miracle. It's a tiny V-dub bug crammed very full of fragile clay sculptures. Somehow, with the help of Albert, patron saint of hitchhikers, I managed to squeeze myself and my pack in while 20,000 angry motorists honk their indignation at the delay. The driver is quite relaxed about it all and tools slowly on up the on-ramp. It's a loop highway that skirts all the way around Indianapolis, and although I'm trying to get up to the north end of it, the gods are obviously against it. The sculptor lets me out at a spot only slightly more lucrative than the one he picked me up at, and it's still definitely on the south side of the loop nightmare. Maybe this is the Twilight Zone. Meet the hitchhiker. All-American, only slightly eccentric, innocently hitchhiking through Indianapolis. Little does he realize that he has just entered the Twilight Zone. He will never see family or friends again, doomed to hitchhike endlessly around in circles, searching in vain for an exit that does not exist. Well, it's getting somewhat darker, and I start looking around for a place to sack out for the night in case I get stuck here. It looks difficult. Busy intersection with 2 gas stations, a fast food joint, a motel, lots of bright streetlights that are beginning to pop on. The encroaching darkness bodes ill for a homeless vagabond. A car stopping for me! I don't even ask which way he's going. Sometimes anywhere at all is bound to be better than where you are. The driver looks a little seedy, but so do I at the moment, and desperados can't be choosers. Where are you heading? Ann Arbor, so I've got to head north out of here for Fort Wayne and points north. Oh, that's too bad because I'm going east. I leave the loop here and head due east for Greenfield, But you can catch highway such and such, and that'll take you to highway such and that'll take you to Interstate 69, heading due north for Fort Wayne and Ann Arbor. No problem. You just stick with me. Okay, I hope you're right. I just had to get off of that damn loop back there. He looks at me and smiles. He's got one tooth left in front, and he likes to smile a lot. Sort of disconcerting. Middle-aged, blonde hair flecked with gray, works for Amtrak. Again, we talk trains. He's drinking one beer after another and driving 75 miles an hour, weaving in and out of rush hour traffic. His left hand is loosely on the wheel, and he spends as much time looking at me while he's driving as he does the crowded road. You want a beer? He asks. Oh, no, thanks. One of us had better be sober when the cops stop us. Are you worried about getting stopped for speeding? Hell no, I've been driving this road for 26 years. Them cops hang out in the same spot every night. I got it all figured out. Okay. You just relax and I'll drop you right off on highway such and such, which will take you to such and such, which will get you to 69 North, which will take you right into Fort Wayne. I know the roads around here, especially up north. My wife's people all live up there, you know. Hell, if it wasn't for work tomorrow, I'd pick up the wife and just drive you on up there and we'd go see her people. We do that a lot, you know. But fucking work, you know. Shit. I ought to do it anyway. Hell, one more beer and I just might go on up and see her people because they all live on up there, you know, all of them. Real clan. Fucking work. I hate working. Cramps your style. But I got one boy in college now, and someone's got to pay his school. Shit, he better work his butt off too, or I'll kick his ass. Yep, he's a good boy, though. Fucking work. Yeah, I'd like to take you up there, but I gotta go ride a train tomorrow. But like I say, I'll put you on highway such and that'll take you to highway such, and that'll get you to right up there to 69 North heading up to Fort Wayne. What did you say you're going to do in Fort Wayne? Nothing. Pass through as fast as possible. Going to Ann Arbor. Oh, yeah. Well, old 69 will take you right there, yes, sir. Now, here's my turn off, and you just stand right up there by the overpass, and you'll get a ride. No problem. I know the people here. He putters off unsteadily, and here I stand in Greenfield in the dark. Piss on it. I'm a zombie after last night's battle of the elements, so I creep down the grassy embankment, slip under the overpass, and sit on the shelf, eating Ritz crackers and cream cheese. The ledge under this overpass is slightly tipped, hard to sleep on. I'll have to drop a line to the governor of Indiana, let him know of the problem. Zap. Instant sleep. A truck rumbles past overhead. One eye opens. Out beyond the shadows of the underpass, there's a hint of light. The sky is a pre-sunrise pink, and the clouds have gone. I pack up my gear and wobble out onto the highway above. It's cold. Ooh, mama. The sun is just showing its eyelashes above the horizon, and the cold red light is horizontal. My shadow is 1,000,000 feet tall in the field to the west. A series of short early morning going to work rides gets me to the interstate, heading north. The sun is now up and it's almost warm. Blessed sunshine, beneficial rays. Apparently I've been good and the gods are satisfied. Another red pickup. The guy is young, cool, probably 28 or so. He's headed up to South Bend on 31 North to catch the Notre Dame Army game. South Bend is not exactly on the way to Ann Arbor, but at least it's north and it's away from here. So I jump in and we tear off. The game is at 2 o'clock and the guy is making damn sure he's not going to miss it. The speedometer reads 68. He looks over. Where are you heading? Oh, Ann Arbor for now. I'm going to go see some people at the school up there. Oh, yeah. You going to school up there? No, just checking it out. All right. You a student? I was. I'm kind of at loose ends right now. Lateral drift, you know? Oh, yeah. Wish I could truck around a bit. I got a business going and it keeps me running all the time. Except today. Today I said, screw it. Nice day. Gonna be a good game. So I said to hell with it. I'm supposed to be working today, too. I could collect $200 today. But so what? What do you do? I run a small enclosures business. Fences, both industrial and residential. Just me and my buddy. We started it about 9 years ago. I got out of high school and couldn't find a job in landscaping, which is what I wanted to do, so I made my own job. Good feeling, you know? Like I'm doing my community a favor by making new jobs. And now we're starting to make a name for ourselves and we got more work than we can handle. So we work all week and then we come back and do the paperwork and collect the bills on the weekends. Like I can collect $200-300 today. But hell, you gotta take some time out to live, you know? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Time to live, time to think. Yeah, like I come from a poor family, you know, and I'm trying like hell to make a good living because I don't like being poor. You gotta have money to play around with, you know? And for guys, if you want to be rich, you gotta work for it, you know? Girls get it easier. They can marry money. I met this chick in Hawaii 3 years ago. She was traveling the world with this rich old guy. Met him on a trip to France and the Riviera, and he just said, hey, I like you. How about traveling with me for 2 years? Keep me company and I'll buy you all the clothes you want, hotels, restaurants, hit all the night spots. He just gave her 2 years of luxury travel just to keep his bed warm. So she did it. And every month, he puts $4,000 in an account for her. So at the end of 2 years, she'll have a pile to live on. God, I was jealous. I started looking for a rich old lady. But if you're a guy, you gotta work. I'm hoping to expand this business, maybe get it up on the market exchange. I figure I can make a couple of million by 50 if I really bust ass for a while here, and maybe in 5 years or so I'll have enough to be financially secure enough to marry somebody and raise a family. And if my kids don't appreciate what I give them, a good life, you know, if they're lazy and take it for granted, I'll cut them right off, burn the will, and just spend it all. Make up for all the years I was poor and the years I worked so hard. Screw the kids, they can make their own way, like I did, you know? He buys beer and chicken for the game. As we pull into South Bend, along with several thousand other football fans, he gives me a beer and lets me out in the traffic. A snazzy white Corvette pulls up, stops traffic, and lets me in. The guy is young, super cool, sipping a double whiskey on the rocks. He keeps up a steady, nonchalant stream of talk, occasionally puffing a joint, and all the while driving with terrifyingly reckless skill, snaking his way in and out of the lanes of tightly packed cars. I just figure that this thing is only fiberglass, and if we hit anything, I'll never know. Just grit the teeth and close the eyes. He lets me out still in one piece at the entrance to football parking. I'm alive. Allah be praised. May you have many sons. The Notre Dame campus looks woodsy, a lake glinting off through the trees. So I decide to take a breather and munch down some more Ritz and cream cheese. Lo and behold, the Army rooting buses have pulled up into a parking lot of their own and are having a picnic. My hitchhiker instincts surge to the fore. I skirt the festivities and check out the possibilities. This is, after all, the Army, and you never know, they might have tanks parked around here somewhere to guard the party. But Albert is with me. I park my pack in some bushes and saunter leisurely over to the crowd. The cheerleaders are cavorting around and screaming. Very nice legs they have, too. The Army puts out a good product. And I clap and hoot and holler madly with the rest of the crowd. I sneak a lateral glance. The food table is about 10 feet away and has people all around it, munching and crunching. I casually wander over, clapping all the while, smile at some joker dressed up in a bee costume, and inspect the offerings. Chicken, apples, cake. Zounds! I take 2 large pieces of taxpayer chicken, all fried in batter, 2 taxpayer apples, and a large piece of taxpayer chocolate cake. Good old Army. Yep, I'd give one more Army cheer and casually saunter on out of the party and beat a quick retreat to my pack. I sit by the lake and pork out. The enemy never knew what hit 'em.